Today we'll discuss about building the website. Okay. So in the previous class we have learned about how the web pages are built. Correct. So can we quickly recall how the web pages are built? HTML, by using HTML tags and not Java, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so HTML to present the content, CSS to beautify the content, and JavaScript to make it functional or interactive. Okay, so comprising these three, you can web page. Yes, so you can build a web page, right? And set of web pages is website, right? So now if things have to be automated for the website, like content publishing, you publish it. So without writing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can do it all from the content management system, where you will just input the content and it automatically takes up and builds a beautiful page by itself. That happens through content management system. Not CSS. Content management system is built. That's website backend. It's built in one of the programming languages, right? So now this makes your website a dynamic website, right? Right? So your website also has the backend now, and data is coming from the database. So when you publish something in the backend, when you type it in the backend, so for example, something like this. So now your website has a control system built, control mechanism built. You don't have to write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but then you can still create a web page, and that can be done through a software. And this is the one such software where you can use it and you can do anything that you want. So, for example, blog posts. I'll just create, right? I'll click on add and I'll start filling all of these fields. Nowhere I'm writing HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So after updating all of these fields on clicking on create blog, it creates a blog post. It creates where blog I'll show it to you. So now something like this. Okay. So something so like this will create. Yes, yes, yes. It's going to create something like this. So if I'm picking any new topic and if I'm publishing it, automatically it creates a page like this. Top 10 domestic courier services in Bangalore. Now I can write a topic, top 10 CBSE schools, correct? In Bangalore, right? Or anything of your choice. How to learn digital marketing or how to build websites. It can be any topic, right? So, and when you update this, publish this, it shows up like this, right? So you did not do anything that you see to the left side, or you did not even write HTML for this, right? You have just created links. Sorry for interruption. Created links. What you are showing now, top 10 domestic services, is generated automatically, or you have created that link again? It generates automatically. So we have to just update all the information here, and this link gets created automatically based on the input. That is, I understood. This information. The related links, top 10 this one, yeah. It automatically. It is automatically on your blog. It comes automatically. Yes, yes, yes. So I can define this condition to most browsed articles, or the recently published one, or the most relevant one, right? I can write a condition left to the left side, show me only the topics which are most browsed, right? That is one scenario, right? Or you are giving a condition, that is why it is showing. I am not giving the condition, the website developer has given the condition. I mean, yes. The blog. Correct. So now here I am not giving the condition, but that thing also can be built here. So what has to be shown to the left side, I can manually pick them here, right? There can be an option created here to pick them up, and it will start showing up these things. And this thing is never published from the backend, or there can be an option to publish this also. See the background blue color or form like this, everything will automatically come onto the web page, right? So now to build something like this, you need two things. One is you have to program, you have to write it in one of the programming languages like Java. If not Java, there are multiple programming languages. If not Java, you can write it in .NET. If not .NET, PHP or Python or Node.js or Express.js. There are various kinds of programming languages, right? So it is all quite difficult to build to learn all of this and then build a website, right? So it's going to be just a dream for many business owners or whomsoever are planning to build a website. They can never build a website if they have to put so much effort in building a website. They cannot. Meanwhile, now look at this. Understand this. The building a website is not just about HTML. Even before writing it in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, even the front end has to be planned. I'll show it to you. See, even before it is something like this. Before you start a construction, you get a 3D architectural view from the engineer, right? Exactly the same happens for the website as well. How should your website look like? And when they click on this button, where should they be taken to? What all kinds of pages that come out of the website? Your website, see, look at this now, right? So now this is planned here. This is what is going to be developed in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is basically even before we develop something like this, we visualize, conceptualize in a designing tool.
This is also your website, right?
Yes.
What is Scrum? I've heard this a lot of times. Scrum.
This is a methodology used in the.
Is it in digital marketing?
No. Scrum is basically a method, a working method, right? So working method usually working method can comprise a number of things. Every day we discuss what we are going to implement and tracking of the tasks, right? Various kinds of things they call Scrum meetings. Okay, every day we'll discuss what is being done by you, what is being done by you. They give a name to this Scrum. They follow the usually this method of discussion and task will be followed by software professionals usually, right? So there is a certification course for them, how you should be managing the teams and their works, right? Scrum, Agile, and Scrum. Okay. So now look at this. This is being conceptualized, and then it will be developed in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then backend. So somebody who does this are called as UI UX designers. UI UX. UI is
User
the full
interface.
form of UI is user interface and UX is user experience, right? So UI UX designers. UI UX designers has got a very good job opportunities in the markets. You have to be a good UI UX designers. So this is another domain which gives you lots of work from home opportunities.
UI and UX.
UI and UX, graphic designing, digital marketing. It's not just digital marketing. Anything related to it, website designing and development, front end development or back end development or both.
We can learn, or is it technical?
Not technical. Design. It's not technical.
It's not technical.
It's not technical. It's not technical, but you have to be very creative and you have to be very strong with the designing concepts. You have to understand the psychology. So psychology that okay, so see now there is a real purpose of having this button here. Video, you see the screen here. So there is a purpose or valid explanation by the designer why the video button is kept here. There is a science.
Basically, UI UX person will decide where to come, what place. Basically, the placement of the website.
Placement, look and feel, both, and the functionalities.
So what is graphic designing then? Graphic designing is also beautifying it, no?
Graphic designing is not beautifying. So graphic designing is you are just you are developing the creatives, images.
That is what AI is doing at the same time.
Yes, AI, Canva, you can use Canva and you can do it, and AI also can do it. AI can produce these kinds of UI
UX designs. Basically, I did not learn. I'm not telling you how to learn, but I'm just telling. Graphic designer role can be replaced by AI.
Not fully. Not fully. So we can put it in the other way around. A graphic designer can use AI and simplify his work, right? Instead of you needing 10 graphic designers, now you can have only one graphic designer, right? See, there is a huge difference. AI can produce some output, but it cannot be necessarily what's running on your mind, right? So if it is a real person, you would have asked them, okay, do it this way. However good your instructions are to AI still does it the way it can, correct?
The editing and all work will be done by not background and all those things.
See, AI just produces the image, creative with the content you provide, right? So, but if you have to, so even AI can give you an option. It again depends on the tool. Canva, for example, Canva can produce. Canva allows you to make the changes. If you want to replace that image, AI produces some, keeps a person image, man's image. You can replace it with woman's image.
Canva is not AI, no? Canva is an app.
Canva is a designing app, creative designing app, but Canva has AI as well,
Okay.
right?
I know Leonardo AI.
So every application can have AI, right? So AI is not an inbuilt feature for it. They are all adapting AI newly now. Got it? So without AI, you have to do everything manually. Correct? So now to stay in the market, to stay relevant, when there are so many applications coming in the market with AI, if they don't have that option, eventually people will switch to some other applications, and that's why there is a necessity of they bringing in AI in their application as well. Correct? Good point. There is a necessity of they bringing AI in their application as well. Okay. So right, look at this now after. So there are multiple screens designed like this by UI UX designer. Okay. So blog post. See now these blog posts design. Look at this design, and now we are going to get this changed to something like this. You see the difference between this and this, correct? So now we are going to approach this. Okay, this looks fine. This is good. You can go with this, and that's when they'll start the front end development.
Even that is also blog what you're showing us now.
This is
Learn
blog.
and thrive.
Yes, yes. This is blog. This is blog. Not the one that I showed previously. This is blog.
Okay.
This is blog post. Top 10 website development companies in Bangalore. This is also a blog, but design is different, right? If you could notice.
It's more beautiful. I mean, it looks more appealing.
Appealing comparatively, correct? Right. Okay. So now, see now it's so much of effort. So what I was trying to convey is building a website is not that easy. It involves so many stages or steps, right? UI UX designing, right? Second thing is front end development, and third thing is back end development. And UI UX designing itself, people will spend somewhere around a month at least. So your website will have multiple designs, right? So home page will be different as compared to that of your product page. After product page, when you click on add to cart, that cart page design, and after making payment, payment submission page or payment completion design, right? Payment confirmation design, blog page, category page. Your website will have few tens of designs. Every communication is different, right? Correct? So hence, huh? We just started. So you have to be on time. Yeah. Okay. So we just started. So now we were discussing how websites are built. Okay. So designing is one stage, correct? And designing involves designing of multiple pages. Now look at this. This is there are already 7 pages, but you don't end by 7 pages. You might have 70. See, this is listing page of the blog, right? And now on this page, you have this option view schedules. When you click on this view schedules, the next page user will be taken to us this page. And after clicking on enroll, he will be taken to another interface or design or experience. Right now, if you look at this, there are 5-6 designs a user is being taken to. Right? So now, now UI UX designer definitely charges a lot. Or even if you have to hire so somebody who can produce a good work, beautiful work, should have at least 3-4 years of experience. A 3-4 years experience UI UX designers will charge you. CTCs will be around 4 lakhs to 10 lakhs.
What is UI?
User interface and user experience. So their salaries will be a bare minimum of 4 to 10 lakhs, anywhere between 4 to 10 lakhs. Even if they are working for a month, somebody's salary 6 lakhs also 50,000 rupees is spent. They design something like this. So now it is, see, for civil constructions, if you are raising a building, if you are planning to construct a building, you will not just hire a masonry and get the building initiated, right? You will get a plan from engineer, correct? Architect works on how your building should look, how many floors, where should be the kitchen, where should be the bathroom, correct? Everything will be properly planned, right? So same way for the website, there is a planning stage, how your website should look like, right? So that is what is all done by UI UX designers. Got it? So now after this stage, HTML development stage, right? HTML development again, so for a massive website like this, not necessarily a massive for any website, it takes few months. Few months.
So first is the role of UI and then HTML.
Even before UI UX, a business owner or somebody has to plan what and all information has to go on their web page.
That I have, like, I'm a business owner, I give you my needs.
Yes.
So the first thing is, the first picture comes is UI and UX.
Product planning.
Okay, that is different.
That is different. So this product planning is basically how, what and all information, what kind of screens, what kind of functionalities your website or app needs. So I will say I want first people to create an account sign up. After sign up, it has to send an OTP. After OTP, it has to, after OTP verification, it has to take them to my account page. So over there, they have to update product managers. So product team. So there has to be somebody who has to conceptualize how their application should look like. Basically, it originates from the people who has got thorough understanding of the user, like what they are trying to sell. Correct. So if you look at these interfaces, so, these stages will be completely different for a Blinkit app and maybe for screen capturing apps or maybe PDF, sorry, not PDF, we call it as scanning apps, right? See, based on the end user's purpose goal, see, it's a blend of business goal or objective and end user's convenience. So you have to bear these two things in the mind. It's a product owner or business owner. See, business owner knows very well. Who knows better than business owner about their customers and about their products? Business owner is the one. Now, somebody who works on the product should also know these things, right? Digital marketers also understand these things.
I mean, he
Conceptualize the flow from A to Z.
Execute
Represent it. So, for example, if I have to show it to you, maybe. So look at this information. I have conceptualized what all information has to go on my website. Banner. So banner is this section top. What do you see? This is banner. So banner, I'm telling that banner description, banner stats, right side and text form. And this is the service name. I gave example. This is the service name. Heading Google Ads Management Service. Below that a piece of information. And everywhere, see now I am putting this 20 million plus ad budget per month. So $20 million of ad budget was spent, or we are handling that much of budget, is going to convey a lot about our credibility, correct? 100% ROI driven strategies conveys that we are capable of handling the Google ad campaigns effectively, correct? 99% times placed above competition. So we are placing your website above the competition on the Google ads 24 hours performance monitoring. So if somebody is coming, if a business owner is coming to us seeking the Google ads service, then we have some certain expectations, correct? Right? So we are speaking all of those things. See, first concern they'll ask is how much budget have you handled, right? We have answered it, right? 100% ROI driven strategies. We don't simply run the campaigns like that. We work towards ROI, return on the investment. You should get return on investment. 99% times placed above competition, 24 hours performance monitoring. Companies working. So now we have to also convey that we are working with all of these companies so that they show interest, correct?
Yes.
See, a lot of times clients decide our credibility based on with which all brands we are associated and working, correct? If you say I am fresher, I am new into the domain, they'll not give business to you, correct? So even though you are credible, if you keep quiet, you are not going to get the business. You have to be speaking about your credibility, correct? Why service section? So why you should be investing in Google ads? So now see, look at this. I gave so much content to our designer. Our designer produced a beautiful design for this which probably looks like this. So now I'm not showing the design, I'm just showing directly the outcome website, right? If you observe this document, you see this 300 plus projects, 10 crore budget per month, 100% results assured, number one in the market, right? So I completely gave the text and it's all being presented like this. And after presentation, they have developed the front end as well. So there was a design before this. Using this content, they produced something like this, and using this, then they created a web page. Did you understand now? So this is not a small effort. So look at the content. Content itself is so lengthy. Now think of, to get this information, how much a person has to think. See, if they are the business owners, they'll have very good flow. They must have worked in the domain for several years or decades, and it's quite easy for them to put the communication on the web page. See, basically, this is all the selling and the marketing information that goes on the web page. So, if a customer, if a prospect is in front of you, what and all would you speak to sell the product or service? Exactly, that's what is being done here, and that's what is being presented as a web page. So a web page is basically eliminating the human intervention, salesperson's intervention. It has to sell your product or service, correct? So few people, I'll show you few companies how they write digital marketing service. Maybe mm, right. If you look at this, everybody has got a different design. You see, everybody has got their own selling strategy.
Correct. You have mentioned the clients above me.
Yes. So this page, team makes DreamWorks, clients, case studies, and list of services, digital marketing agency in India. Okay, not this, I'll show you something different. Have to make sure that, see, while we discuss SEO, we understand the importance of right information on the web page. So if you look at this, they have just mentioned list of all the services they do, and then the case studies, and then our vision, our story featured in clients reviews. Done form. So there is a huge difference from website to website how they represent, and this plays a very crucial role. You cannot ignore this. This is what is going to decide whether you are going to get placed in the top or not. Okay, you all got an idea, right? Right, and this all depends on, as a digital marketer or as a business owner, what you feel like to communicate, right? So that's what is being put here, and we're going to UI UX designer is going to represent it, correct? See, now you have given all text, and now he is bringing where should an image be placed, what color of image has to be, what should be the size of the image, where should be the call to action, correct? That's the work of UI UX designer, right?
So the UI and UX designer and the product manager has no connection with SEO agency or SEO person, or they have a connection with
So they all will
because
come.
SEO is a person who gives you the keywords.
No, 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 no. SEO is not a person who gives the keyword. That's one of
But
the
that's
thing he
what
would
they
do.
do it. SEO is
You will learn, you will understand more. So this requirement can be by an SEO professional. All this what you see here can be a requirement from SEO professionals. You become a high valued SEO professionals if you're capable of doing all of these things. SEO work is not just to give a keywords. SEO is massive. SEO comprises n number of implementations you're going to learn in this class which nobody teaches you anywhere on the internet, I bet. Okay, we're going to learn. So SEO, that's not the primary responsibility. That is one of the small tasks done by SEO. Okay, and he incorporates. He's not going to give those keywords to anybody. He takes care of it by himself. Okay, right? So what do you understand now? The first stage is product planning. Correct. Next is UI UX. Third is not SEO. Third is front end development, HTML development of your design. And fourth is optional, building a backend for your website. So if you are front end developer or if you have front end developer always next to you, you can ask them to create a page, new page every time. If you don't want to be relying on them, you ask them to build a software which can allow you to publish new pages anytime that you want. Correct? That software they are going to build, the person who builds them are called as backend developers, right? Or full stack developers. Once it is done, you can handle it all by yourself. Handle it in the sense you can create the pages without writing HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay?
front end is then
HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Front end is HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
they are front end developers.
Yes.
And back end is Python and all those things you have to
Ah.
do.
Okay. Python is?
Back end is basically those Python, PHP. And
Yes,
all
yes.
those
One of the
things.
programming languages. Okay. Okay. So backend Python or PHP or .NET or Ruby or Rails, there are so many programming languages. You can use one of them and you can build your backend. Correct? Okay. So what I was telling, the front end. So now front end is, see, basically websites did not have the backend. Only a website developer was building the websites. Now there was a necessity to handle a lot of things by themselves, right? So that's when they wanted things to be automated and approach software developers. We want a feature or option for us to create the web pages by ourselves. We don't want to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or we don't want to come to you every time. Give me an option where I should be able to launch the web pages by myself, right? So that's when one of the programming language and database was used and the web pages were. So the front end was attached to a backend, and you can publish any content from the backend, which is called as content management system. Correct?
So front end in the sense like creating a web page, back end is creating a software.
Creating an option to publish this content to the front end. Content management system. Okay, so you just use this word content management system. Your website is built using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, the front end, and the back end is built in one of the programming languages, right? And what do we do with this programming language? We are building a content management system. Content management system is nothing but an option or a feature for you to publish all the content by yourself to the website. Ideally speaking, if you have to publish a product, you should know HTML, CSS, JavaScript to upload an image also. Now, what we have done, you don't have to do any of that. You can simply upload an image. So, we have built up features or options for you to manage it all very effectively and easily, right? So, that is content management system, which is built in one of the programming language. Clear? Now, to build website, you are investing in product manager, UI UX, front end development, back end development. Correct? Four different people. Even if four different people works for 3 months, now think of the cost incurred. Each person, let's assume 50,000 only. 50,000 into 4 is 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs per month into 4 months, 8 lakhs is the cost incurred. Do you think a small business will afford it? Right? It's practically impossible for small businesses, and they don't know what they're going to get out of this internet profile, the website, correct? So that's when this open source content management system, good people came forward and they built a mechanism or a system which can allow them to build their websites very easily, right? Meanwhile, you don't know the coding, right? You don't know coding, you don't know front end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, nothing. So they thought, okay, we'll build something which helps them to build it all by themselves. That's when they launched open source content management systems built in one of the programming languages, which will just allow you to drag and drop, right? A lot of features or options which we're going to look into it, right? But then even to start using that platform or the system, you have to know few more basics, or someone should help you to get that installed on your server, correct? Still the core basics will remain same. You need a domain name, you need a server, right? So there are many platforms like Shopify. You don't need to understand the server, you just have to connect your website domain name to their system platform. You don't even have to deal with hosting or cpanel, nothing. It's all inbuilt. Okay.
Shopify.
Shopify. There are a couple of such platforms like Shopify, which will where you don't need any kind of technical knowledge or understanding about cPanels, hosting the websites, launching the WordPress application. At least you should know how to use it. See, decade back, I used to download the WordPress from internet, upload it to the internet server, and create a database over there. Get the database and connect with your website.
So
There was
this is so, I mean, so old. I thought it's a very recent
no,
technology.
more than 20s probably.
Is it? I thought only 4-5 years back, I mean, COVID time during that I thought.
No, it's very old. Okay. Okay, so some amount of technical knowledge was needed. So as we progressed on technology, things are made a lot easier. Now, whichever the hosting service you are using, there's a control panel. Control panel is basically how do I say? Um, See now for your computer, see now there is a hard disk on your computer. It has C drive, E drive, correct? Correct. So now what is the control mechanism for your computer? The monitor that you see, the options for you to select. So you're using the mouse and you're moving, right? So all this becomes controlling elements for your computer. A processor, right? Operating system. A processor and operating system is the control for your drive. You can split your hard disk to A, B, C, D, whatever the correct. So same way, your hosting server has a control mechanism called cPanel.
cPanel.
Control panel, which allows you to control your hosting environment. You need some control, right? They cannot say, I have allocated 500 GB space for you, go and use it. How will you use? Correct? How will you use it? You need some control mechanism to handle it, right? So there are two ways. Now to deal with this server, you should know commands in the command prompt, or you should know commands in the command prompts, or you should know how to use this control panel. Okay. Okay. So now today we'll start looking into this, how those hosting environments look like. Correct. So I have an account with Hostinger. Hostinger is one of the domain and hosting server seller. Right. You all can create an account with Hostinger. Okay. So we already have an account with Hostinger. So I'll just click on login with.
Is it like GoDaddy?
Yes, like GoDaddy. GoDaddy does TV ads, that's why you know about GoDaddy. There are n number of service providers who provide better service than GoDaddy. Okay, so I used to use GoDaddy only, and recent times our team has signed up an account with this as well. Okay, so even I have to explore this. Okay, okay. So now we have built websites for some of these clients. Okay. Okay. See, you can purchase domains here itself, and you can put them in use. We have domains as well as hostings at the same place. So if your domains are not here, you can link your domain with this hosting account also. Hosting at one place, domain at one place. You don't need, you don't necessarily have both at one place. Okay,
When you connect both through server, then how?
we will connect. I'll show you. Okay. See, if you're planning to buy a new domain, see, we already have a hosting environment here. I'll show it to you. Okay, so this website was just built in few clicks using AI. Using AI, I'll show it to you. Just design and develop by Karma Digital. Even every server will have different kinds of options, different kinds of features. I'm just trying to explore them and show it to you. Okay, premium web hosting. We have hosted 9 websites. Manage. Okay. So all the content related to this website will be stored here in the final file manager. Okay. So now on your computer you see the drives, right? Correct. If you are storing something, it stays only in that in your computer and it cannot be accessed by anybody. But here you might see multiple folders, but always your content has to be put under this folder. This is a default name, public underscore HTML, which indicates or means it is connected to internet. So public underscore HTML indicates that your server is connected to internet. Whatever you host here, you put here can be seen by everybody on the internet, right? So now we have installed a WordPress application here already. I'll show it to you by doing it with one of the websites so that you'll understand it better. Right? WordPress overview. This is shaktipuja.com website. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just quickly. We had the hosting with GoDaddy also, but that was quite expensive, and we have moved it to Hostinger. Hostinger had some plans package, so we have lot of domains here. My products. You see here. Okay, let's see.
You are believe every year you need to renew or something like that every 2 years. I mean, the renewation.
Yes, yes. See, domains usually will have an option to purchase minimum 1 year, or if you want, you can purchase it for 10 years, 50 years also. Okay. So if you are buying it for 1 year, after completion of the year, you have to renew it again.
So you renew with GoDaddy or you renew with hosting?
Both you have to see domain you are purchasing, both go hosting and domain name. Both have to be renewed. So you can go with 2 years, 3 years plan or 10 years plan also. So by the time it does, you have to obviously renew it. You have to buy domain name. So for example, let's assume domain has costed you 400 rupees. Next year it might cost you 500 or 600 or up to 1000 rupees max, right? So next year your spend will be 1000 rupees or 500 rupees, and hosting will cost you 2000, 3000 to few lakhs also, based on the kind of configuration you prefer. So low configuration computers versus high configuration computers, obviously the price will have a huge difference, right? Correct. Same is the scenario here, right? So now domain name, see now this is going to get expired on 15/3/2025. So still 3 more months.
So you're not you have to renew here only or
Here only, here only, here only. Wherever you have bought it, you have to renew only. If you have
That's
purchased land in India, you cannot go to Pakistan and renew the records. You have to pay tax here, renew it here, correct? If I am you are rented out house and I am occupying it, I have to pay rent to you only, not to your neighbors. Correct? Exactly the same if your domain is sleepy, not understanding. So if your domain is registered with GoDaddy, you can go and renew there only. If at all, if you want this to be moved to Hostinger, you can transfer it to Hostinger. There is a process.
okay.
You can transfer it to Hostinger and there you can renew it. After renewing now, see now 3 more months, right? I can move this to Hostinger account. It doesn't matter where you renew, right? See, this is for me, it's easier. I have all the domains here, purchased with GoDaddy, and all the domains are here.
GoDaddy is expensive and hosting
No, no, no. Domain renewal cannot be expensive. Domain renewal, whether you buy it from GoDaddy or you buy it from Hostinger or buy it from Google or from any place, domain prices will remain same always. Until unless they are put on auction. Now, see, this is a very big business. So there are companies,
The
3 floor, 4 floor.
Dubai person has challenged.
So that's individual. That kids again he sold it to kids. Reliance, right? You're speaking about Hotstar, Disney Hotstar. So that is different scenario. Now companies with 3 stories, 4 stories, 5 stories buildings will have so many employees sitting in the building, and their work is figure out the catchy names. They come up with some catchy names. They register them, they hold with them, and they put them on the auction for 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 50,000, 30,000. See, somebody who is selling it at 2 lakhs, let's assume even if he is keeping it for 20 years, 10 years, 10 years into 1000 rupees a year, how much has he invested? 10,000. Correct? So now, if he is selling it at 2 lakhs, how much profit? And you know, domains, people are selling it at 1 crore also. You just check it once, okay? Find a domain. You tell me something. Something very catchy. Yeah, tell me.
Spacebuggy.com. SPACEBUGGE.com.
No, yours is gone. See, yours is not put in auction. It's been taken. Spacebuggy.com, current bid 2118.64. You can place bid, not something like this. Maybe some. How much it is? 8,474.57 minimum offer. 33,000. Prolern.live 1,27,000. Okay, not this one.
But how does GoDaddy and all get those names?
So GoDaddy doesn't get names. Yeah.
No, I understand they are the seller. Hostinger is a seller, GoDaddy is a seller. I understand that. But there will be some source no, from where they are getting.
So there is a global registry maintained at one place.
Global
registry for domains.
Okay.
Okay. So you consider it to be as a kind of central repository, central registry, right? So now every data, whatever is being bought across the globe, goes and sits there, right? So now you can become a valid partner. Sorry, not valid. What do you call it as? A certified partner selling that repository. professional partner to sell that repository. So it is from same data or information. When they search, see, GoDaddy sells domains, Google sells domain, Hostinger sells domain, Zoho sells domain. There are various people, even Contra Digital can start selling domains. For that, I don't know the process. We have to register. So the data is all coming from one place only. We are all using it from the same place. Whatever it's been displayed over there, the same displays here. For everybody, it's going to be the same. Google also shows the same price. If you're going to Google also shows the same price. So now what people do is, so now this registry has given an option, say 7,61,000. Yes. So if you could think of some interesting catchy names for your business and go to GoDaddy or any other domain sellers and check it over there. Okay. So they'll be quite. Yes. All about need, necessity.
Yeah. Even for the car number,
even
particular car number, like the boat.
So for fancy numbers at RTO, there is a real-time auction, right? So it is something like that. Okay. So now, how is this? Who is selling this? Is again. So this registry has allowed people to buy the domains and also to sell it back. So now you all three can register, each of you can register 10 domains and you can put them in the auction. Okay, I am ready to sell this at a minimum price of 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakhs. And there are multiple ways of selling. You will put a flat price or you will put an auction. Okay, so now this data what you have put again goes to the central repository of domain selling, and from there again it comes back to whenever people search. Right? So I have an option. So if I own these domains on GoDaddy, I can put them on auction. So I think I have put one of them on auction. So I was using all of these domains actively. I was just exploring that option. I have put some $5,000. So if anybody are desperate for that name, so it's like a gambling probability case, lottery. You cannot put it. You can put it on the auction or for selling, but you cannot expect every domain to get sold every time. It needs a lot of patience.
Correct.
But your investment is just 1,000 rupees a year. Invest it for 5 years, 5,000 rupees. If somebody comes and buys it at 10,000 USD, you're going to make 8 lakhs.
Just like me.
Okay. So yeah. So now here, let me skill deck and that's the.
Kids number is doing that, and I have to. Yeah, they actually do some. Yeah, they actually do some random painting. They just keep it for the auctions, and if some particular person comes and likes it, they actually goes and do it. I've seen my son's friends do that. NIFT. NIFT. They have for the kids.
Okay. Okay. So now when you own a domain, your work is not done. You need a hosting as well. Mm-hmm. So these domains have to be connected to hostings. Okay. So there is something called as domain name server. See, now your hosting will have IP address 191 point something like that. Now if you expect people to be visiting that IP address through a name, you have to connect this domain and that name, and that can be done here in this section called DNS, domain name servers. Okay. So this NS, whatever you point it at. Okay, yeah, record name servers, can't take it, fine. So I can add name servers like this. I don't know. So now my hosting is at Hostinger, right? So I'll have to get the hosting here. So it was pretty easy on WordPress domains. I'll go to domains. See, I can do this option also. Domain from GoDaddy to I can transfer it to this place. We'll not discuss that. What type of website do you want to build? Business and services. Next. See, there are so many pre-built templates which you can use. I'll come back.
Is this hosting a free? Can we try at home or?
No, Hostinger, you will get a plan at 2,400 or 500 rupees. The basic plan starts at 3,000 something
Per month?
year per year, and you can host a number of websites. Right? If you use a coupon code high 10, you will get 10% discount, and they'll charge you some 2,500 rupees. And now you can host your 10 websites here. See, that's what we have done. Look at
I
this.
can see that, yes.
Right?
Like I had my website, so I don't know. My husband redid that, so I need to check with him.
Where he has bought and all.
Yeah. We got it from GoDaddy.
Domain is not connected to your. Domain is not connected to your website to make sure your website is connected to domain first.
So as you said, this hosting, in one hosting we can actually have 10 domains,
Okay.
10 websites we can create. But does it really mean that the websites like e-commerce and we can create 10 e-commerce? No, no, because there will be a lot of space.
It needs
There will
see,
be a lot of
space.
people
See. It's not about space. Space you might get enough space. It works this way. When you have got a lot of requests to your server, so traffic. So your processors have see there are two components in your server, multiple components. One is storage space. It can be 100 GB, 500,000. It doesn't matter if your RAM is low, 512 Mbps, your websites will crash. Okay, so your RAM has to be good, 4 GB, 8 GB, at least 2 GB, at least 1 GB. Okay. Second thing, now they would give you higher GB, but then this all will be called as shared servers. So now the server that you are using, the RAM, will also be used by somebody else. Basically, shared hosting is all about usage of RAM. It is something like this. The hardware, computer, everything, there are two, but then both are connected to the single RAM. So if you are opening a gaming application on this computer, it takes a lot of RAM, and here you won't be able to open the browser also properly, or the browser will load very slowly, or maybe if you are opening a small application on your computer, it might not load properly because it's a shared RAM between two computers. On your phone also, right? If you're buying a phone, you will buy 16 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM, 512 MB RAM, and now nobody prefers to buy a smaller RAM because you all know if it is a small RAM, your phone processing speed is very slow, right? Now think of this: your 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM on your phone is connected to multiple dumb phones which doesn't have any kind of RAM, which starts using your RAM. Exactly the same happens with shared hosting. Shared hostings are cheaper, dedicated hostings are very expensive. You will end up spending several thousands or lakhs also a month, right?
So in this kind of shared, this one websites, hosting, we can only use like in one hosting we can only make 10 websites that are like just come visit and go. That is it, right? We can't do
No, no, no.
anything
See,
paying
uh,
and everything. Not necessarily 10. It can be more based on your capacity. The process.
so see, you can host 100 websites also, but when you're on shared hosting, see, all these 100 websites will work perfectly fine, no issues. Okay. The problem is when this hosting is also shared by somebody else, and if they have lots of traffic coming in, even they will be, if whomsoever uses this plan, usually they will also not have any kind of traffic. Mostly all this will be, so now look at this, they're all portfolio websites. They don't
normal
so
website.
your website will not have any kind of impact until unless there is a huge surge in traffic for most of these websites, or at least few of these websites who are using your shared hosting. You will not know who is using the shared hosting. So what they will do is they will distribute this RAM. The hosting companies will distribute this RAM to multiple companies. And now when there is a traffic, huge traffic comes, but usually what they do is they distribute this to these kinds of websites only. They don't know what kind of websites, but people whomsoever purchase a shared hosting usually will be a small websites, right?
Just for the namesake, they need a website.
Website, they'll go with,
Yeah, they go with.
right? And our business websites like Canada Digital, Canada Foods, they were on the shared hosting, but 4 GB or 8 GB RAM. RAM was bigger, so the impact was negligible. Okay, and we were getting 50,000 visitors a month. It's all manageable still. It goes with the type of plan you are using. Okay, so where were we? Okay, now look at this. This domain svprintpack.in is on GoDaddy. If I have to come back and show it to you. So we have built a website here already, but that website is not functional. In order to make that functional, it's suggesting connect GoDaddy and your domain. Sorry, connect your domain and the website. So where is my domain here? svprintpack is somewhere here. Okay. So DNS
DNS is a domain
name server, right? Domain name servers, and we can add certain details related to your domain. We will look into them later. For now,
What is a TTL 600 seconds, 1 hour, 1 hour?
time to load in seconds, something like that. So we don't have to learn or understand all of them. I'll tell you very few matters. One is email server. Second one is name server. Okay. Okay. So they, if you look at this, they are suggesting some name servers here. You have to add this. Delete the name servers and replace them with hosting as name servers. Save your changes. Okay. So find the domain settings page with your current name servers, ns1 GoDaddy, ns2 GoDaddy.com. These two have to be replaced with these two. If your name servers are something like this, right? You don't have any name servers. Here there are two, but we cannot delete them. Can't delete, can't add. Anyways, add new record. I will add name servers. Copy this. Okay, by default we'll leave this like that only. We'll see how it works. I'll add one more record. That is also name server. Add. So there is something called as propagation time. It takes some time to connect my website, what I have built here in this hosting. Okay. Okay. So we'll see. I'm not sure if we have built the website here already earlier. So there is no website here. So probably SV print pack. We could have seen it before we connect this. It's showing GoDaddy lander, but it might take some time since we have just upgraded domain name servers. There will be some propagation time. Maybe in some time it might start showing a plain website probably, because we haven't built any website here also. Here also it's empty. If you look at this default.php, there's nothing, no file sitting here. right? So once this is propagated, tomorrow we will launch HTML. We will build HTML website only first. Okay, simple web page, and then we'll start building the WordPress website. Okay, so clear? You all understood today? Understood, right? So what we did, usually it would have been, see now, it is very easy dealing with your kid as compared to that of anybody outsider. But you can deal it still if you're spending some time, correct? Based on the scenario study that you do. Same way here, there is no such complex thing involved. It's all about the time that you invest in, right? So, yeah, that's why I will discuss this multiple times until you all are clear. So, when domain and hosting are at the same place, it's quite simple when you are just getting started. So, somebody who is always working on this, it doesn't matter whether it is at the same place or at different places. Developers, it doesn't matter for them. You just have to get to know them how it all has to be handled or did, and it's all going to be super easy. Okay, so today I was trying to help you understand that the website is being a website can be the hosting is with hostinger, the hosting environment is with hostinger. So this indicates your content, your website all has to be built on hostinger, and your domain is with GoDaddy. So you have to connect your domain name and your content, that's your hosting, so that your website will start serving some content or information. So we just try see if you're buying a domain, by default it shows something related to from which domain seller you have bought. As of now, there's nothing built on this domain. That's why you see it like this. So we have just updated domain name servers. We'll see how it works in the next class, and we'll start building a simple website, right? And then we'll step on to building the Go WordPress websites. Yeah, cool.